We have all heard about incredible UFO sightings. Most are usually explained away or proven to be a hoax, but for some there is no explanation. Hundreds of cases remain unsolved mysteries. So whether you're a skeptic or a believer, a riveting new book tries to set the record straight. It's called UFOs. Generals, pilots, and government officials go on the record. Joining us now is the author, Leslie Kean. Leslie, you came to this project, as I understand it, as a skeptic.
Right, or certainly as a neutral person. I mean, I didn't really, I was curious about the phenomenon, but I didn't have a strong opinion about it one way or the other.
And so how did you get started into doing this investigation?
Well, I was just a journalist working at a public radio station, and I was sent by a colleague in France an incredible report done by military officials in France. This was in 1999, including a whole group of generals and an admiral, very high-level people that had studied this. And they came to the conclusion that the extraterrestrial hypothesis is a possible explanation. So I was intrigued by that as a journalist. I thought it was a big story, and I've never left it since.
Let's take a look at some of the photos that you publish in the book that you say are unexplained. Tell us what this is, or what it appears to be, and where it comes from.
Yeah, this is one of the more extraordinary pictures we have on record of a UFO, and it's been verified at the highest level, so the question of its authenticity is not even on the table. This was taken, it's a triangular craft that was seen over Belgium. The thing kept returning for a long time. It was called a wave. This is when the picture was lightened up a little bit so you can see the clear outline of a triangle. The photographer was below it looking up. And it was provided, this is actually another study that was done, and you can see sort of particles around it that look like a magnetic field, possibly. The scientists were able to learn a lot about it from these photographs. This is a drawing of what the thing, just to give people a conception of what it was that they were dealing with. This thing returned over Belgium over a period of a year and a half, many, many, many times. It was seen by hundreds and hundreds of people, police officers, military people, and the major general who was in charge of that investigation is actually the one that provided me the photographs.
Because, Leslie, when you see some of those photographs, it looks like some of those movies that you see on UFOs about what we think it might be like. I mean, how skeptical are you now that you've done this 10-year investigation as a journalist on this topic?
Well, I mean, certainly about photographs, there are lots of them that are hoaxes and bogus. You have to be very careful about photographs. But as the phenomenon stands overall, I mean, I know for a fact that there is some physical phenomenon in the sky that we can't explain, and that's been documented at the highest levels. The people who have documented have actually written pieces for my book, including 5 generals. So we know there is something happening, but we don't know what it is, and we want to find out.
Can you sleep at night? That would make me nervous. That would make me a little uneasy.
So far, there's nothing showing that we have to be frightened of anything. So.
But, again, I'm still a skeptic, and I look at a couple of these pictures. It looks almost like somebody tossed a Frisbee up in the air and took a picture of it.
Right. I mean, if you see it out of context, that's, yeah, okay, it looks like a Frisbee. But the bottom line is it's been analyzed and studied for decades. This particular one, which was photographed by a farmer in the 1950s, is one of the most thoroughly analyzed photos of all of them in UFO history. And it's absolutely been determined that it's not a Frisbee. So you just have to trust. And you can learn about it if you want to learn more. There's papers that have been written, etc., that will explain it all.
Real quick, explain to us the investigation you think that should take place based on your work.
Well, I mean, we would like, and a group of my colleagues and myself would like to see a more extensive scientific investigation conducted that would involve cooperating with countries around the world to really get to the bottom of this issue. And we need the U.S. government's involvement in order to do that.
And so far there hasn't been that involvement?
There hasn't been. No, there's a kind of ignoring of it all within the government, and we think that should change.
Well, maybe if they are up there watching us, maybe we don't want to know about it.
Yeah, you keep thinking there's something scary. I don't really think so. I think something awful would have happened by now if it was going to happen. These things have been around a long time.
Someone knock on wood before we... Thank you very much, Chris, on the camera. We'll never know. I mean, we'll see what happens. Interesting book. Thank you so much for telling us about it.
Well, thanks for having me.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.